They're on patrol around the clock. Since the lockdown, the field rangers from the MalaMala Wildlife Reserve have even spent the night out in the bush to guard the animals. The reserve offers some of the most luxurious safaris in southern Africa, drawing thousands of tourists every year. Since the lockdown, the animals have been largely alone, and criminal poaching gangs know it. They're keen to exploit the situation. More recently, animals that sell well for their meat have also become a target. MalaMala lies in one of South Africa's poorest regions, and the rangers are concerned about the situation in the villages surrounding the reserve.
The
pandemic has put many people out of work. They have no money and many are hungry. We're worried that they'll break into the reserve and kill animals for their meat.
The wild animals also sense that something has changed. Gone are the sounds of vehicles and tourists. Some residents of the park have lost their fear completely and are coming much closer to the camp than normal. Vusi Mpanza is the general manager at the MalaMala Reserve. Now he's holding the fort back at the camp. When the rangers return, he tells them about fresh tracks from their latest visitor. An elephant paid a visit in the night and damaged a number of trees. The reserve was once privately owned, but 2013 saw a historic land restitution case in which the government bought up the area and gave it back to local residents. Now the land and buildings belong to 11 local communities who also hold a stake in the company that operates MalaMala. The firm pays rent to the local community and provides training to residents.
Hello, Kate.
The reserve employs 180 people, many of them from the local area, but few are currently working. With the onset of the coronavirus restrictions, the reserve lost its income. Nearly all the staff were sent home.
We don't know how long that is going to last. And so for them as well, the staff, they're so worried that might not even come back, so even for those who are in camp, if the company doesn't operate at all, it might as well close it down. And all of us, and we're feeding a lot of families, a lot of families are depending on, maybe one person working here is feeding like 10 people at home or more than that.
So how are you, Vusi?
Every day, Vusi Mpanza speaks to his boss online. She's doing all she can to secure additional funding. So far, his staff have received unemployment benefit from the state. They're also getting a small amount of money from MalaMala on top, so that each one has enough to live on.
Initially, the temporary employee relief scheme was only for a period of 3 months. However, we are hoping that for industries such as tourism, that government who recognise and see the importance of tourism in South Africa will continue to at least assist the tourism industry and the hospitality industry, which has been hardest hit.
Vusi Mpanza and Ranger Lucky Makukula are heading out to Kildare village to deliver face masks and other items to guard against the coronavirus. Kildare is one of the 11 villages that submitted a claim under the restitution program to get the MalaMala land back. Precious Zita is a local tailor. Right now, she's stopped making clothes and is sewing face masks instead.
Yeah, we need 100.
They cost the equivalent of €1 a piece. That's too expensive for many in the village, so staff from MalaMala are buying them up to give out. They've already bought 400 masks from her. Since the land was returned, a lot has changed in Kildare village. The old huts that stood here during the time of apartheid are now few and far between. They've been replaced by new houses that are a lot more comfortable. They were financed by the rent and wages paid to the community by the MalaMala Reserve.
I don't know which color we like, so we can choose.
Rulani Ndlovu has worked at the reserve for 15 years, rising to become a kitchen manager. She too is building a new house. But now she doesn't know when it will be finished. She hasn't worked since the end of March. Her wages have been cut and she's worried about the future.
I stop everything. The money that I get from the company, I keep it for future because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So that's why I can't spend any cent. I only spend the money that I get for food, only for food and electricity, that's it, and keep the rest.
In such uncertain times, it's especially important to stick together and help one another. The men from MalaMala also provide tips on how residents can best protect themselves from the virus. They too benefit from the contact with local residents.
We have people on the ground who listens and get information of any attempt of poaching. So that assists a lot. Hence, you see we have got less poaching in our land because our people are part of that to make sure that they protect what is theirs. So we get information before it happens and we can able to tackle it before it happens.
Another thing the rangers are doing right now is producing footage to post online, as no one can come to the park. At the moment, they're focusing on the so-called Big Five. That's elephants, lions, rhinos, buffaloes and leopards. The videos of the animals are a real hit on social media.
We're making these films so that we can bring wildlife to our home because of the COVID-19 that you cannot able to come and enjoy it right. It is around yet MalaMala.
The rangers have had a good day. Later on, they spot another leopard. They're really hoping the tourists will be able to return soon, bringing desperately needed income to safeguard the future of the MalaMala Game Reserve.